the level of value is crazy. Like the level of value that you guys deliver in this 30-day free engagement is wild, you know? Um, like I mentioned initially, it was more than I'd ever anticipated. And if I were to tell someone everything that I received, I don't know that they would believe me, because it is so much value.
When I first reached out to you on LinkedIn, what was kind of like your initial impressions? Why did you say yes in the first place to some random guy you didn't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as the agency kind of scaling over time from day one till now, over the past 2.5 years or so, I've been just kind of like figuring it out as I go. And as some business matures and as revenue increases, I'm trying to put that money to work to improve our process so that I can ultimately scale more. And I know that I have these blind spots. So late last year, I hired on my first full-time contractor who is way better than me at things like art creative work. And when you reached out, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to work with a group that was better than me at the financial side of this business. So that's what kind of made me respond and engage, because I'm looking to put my money to work, to put the revenue to work, to ultimately improve different areas of the business.
How would you describe the process overall to somebody who hasn't worked with us before? What would you say were some things that went well and some things that you felt were good?
So you guys are incredibly knowledgeable and detail oriented. Like the level of analysis that you all brought to this initial engagement was more than I had ever anticipated you would do. More stones than I ever thought would be kind of turned over to look for opportunities to improve. So it was a combination of like educational for me, where I'm learning things I didn't know before, and then also informational from a perspective of things that already exist today that I could do a little bit differently to make it better.
Was there a specific point in the project where you were like, actually, this is really insightful or this is really helpful? Was there any point where that occurred?
So the first is the analysis of build versus collected, and then projecting. So as I look at the future of the business, I was not in a position at all to identify how much I could spend, on bringing on team members, or how much I can spend on trying to get more leads or building a new website or anything like that. So that was super informative. And then the last one was like huge tax saving opportunities, tax strategies around like the QBI and things like that, to make sure that we appropriately handle tax minimization to ultimately improve the long-term benefit of all this work that I'm doing. Because my ultimate goal is to make sure that, for the long term, reap the financial benefits of the work that I'm putting in today.
If you were to give us maybe some suggestions for improvements, anything that came to mind that maybe was a little bit of a pain or something that you could see some improvement on for us?
Oh man, that's tough. I think early on I didn't quite understand what you needed from me, because I have so little experience in these like I've never run the reports, that were needed to do the analysis, but you guys really quickly handled the back and forth to help make sure that you were getting what you needed from me.
If you were to recommend your service, our services to a colleague, what would you tell them is our biggest strength?
Yeah. So, bringing an agency from scattered and confusing into scalable from a financial perspective. So, helping a client go from independent freelancer type of agency to actually having the financial clarity to grow into a larger organization. So, bridging that maturity gap. That I I haven't done myself because I can't.
Any other kind of last comments or things that stood out to you as we kind of engaged the last 30 days or so?
I think it's been the level of value is crazy. Like the level of value that you guys deliver in this 30-day free engagement is wild, Um, like I mentioned initially, it was more than I'd ever anticipated. And if I were to tell someone everything that I received, I don't know that they would believe me, because it is so much value. Um, but ultimately, like, it's a great go-to-market strategy because you're delivering a ton of value up front, and then you ultimately get paid to handle the day-to-day execution of that structure, that value, that roadmap that you used the initial engagement to build. So yeah, I guess the shock and awe was really good.